Hi everyone! Good, beautiful Sunday! Today is January 7, 2024. Hindi po kami makapaniwala. This is the fourth year of the HR Cafe program. 4 na taon na po kami. We're one of the longest running HR Cafe shows here in the Philippines. And maligayang bagong taon po sa inyong lahat. Today, we will be having our episode 1 of 2024, but technically, it's episode 159 of the HR Cafe program. So sa lahat po ng ating audience ngayon, inaanyahan po namin kayo na please comment on the comment section kung ano pong pangalan nyo, saan po kayo naroon, at kung ano po ang inyong kumpanya para mabati din namin po kayo. My name is Coach Darren Rivers. Welcome to the HR Cafe. And of course, joining me today are our cafe mentors. We have HR Cafe mentor Rona Florentino. Please say hi, mentor Rona.
Hello, Happy New Year sa inyong lahat. Naku, napaka-exciting po ng start ng ating taon. Welcome po sa mga bagong salta dito sa ating HR Cafe at sa mga dati na po nating mga manonood dito. Happy New Year at welcome back po sa inyong lahat. Mentor Tina, kumusta?
Welcome back to everyone to the HR Cafe. I am very excited for another fun-filled, insightful year for all of free learning from guest experts. I'm so glad we've managed to get Sir Sonnie today. But before that, Coach Darwin, back to you.
Yes, here at the HR Cafe, as mentioned by Mentor Tina and Mentor Rona, we're very much excited to start our program. And so, just to start our program, for those who have just tuned in or first time here at the HR Cafe program, the HR Cafe program, ladies and gentlemen, provides timely news and updates. And here in our program, we impart knowledge and experience that are value adding to you, our audience. We also discuss problems, issues, and challenges and provide weekly training program. Ito po yung nasa second part ng ating program through our seasoned guest speakers. We also discuss new technologies, tools, and processes, as well as industry's best practice. Kaya po napakarami talaga ang nanonood at sumusubaybay dito sa HR Cafe. And of course, our main thrust here in our program is to become the bridge of understanding between employers and employees and provide inspiration and motivation to the Filipino workers. We are your HR Cafe servers, and here in our program, we have different sections. We have Wow Quote for the week. We have HR Hot Questions or Hot Topic for the week. We have important news and updates, and of course, the HR free training section. We are your HR Cafe servers. Again, my name is Coach Darwin Rivers. I'm the founder and CEO of the Philippines HR Group. And ngayon po sa Philippines HR Group, we're starting at 316,000 members. Nako, dumadami pa po tayo sa everyday. Kaya maraming salamat po sa patuloy niyong suporta at pagtitiwala sa amin. And of course, Mentor Rona Florentino, who's the CEO of Apra Social Geekers and also one of the board members of the Philippines HR Group and LinkedIn's Top 100 Filipinos to Follow. Mentor Rona, another hello from you. Kumusta?
Yes, alam mo, napakalaki ng natutunan natin ng 2003 coming into 2004, and I know that a lot of our audience ganun din ang nararamdaman. So it's actually a very good way to start our 2024 na talagang first episode natin is yung ating usual na tagagawa ng yung ating usual guest ng first episode natin palagi si Sir Sonnie, kasi ito yung magandang way for us to set kung ano ba magiging tone natin for 2024. Ayan, Coach Dar?
Agree. And of course, we have Mentor Tina Coang. Mentor Tina is an operations and HR leader. She's the head of a food and beverage company in a retail company. And of course, well-known content creator. Mentor Tina, kumusta ang 2024 mo?
Ang bilis! 1 week na nakalipas, and I really think that 2024 will be another exciting year for everyone. We'd like to give a shout out, 'di ba? Meron tayong mga early birds, si Sir Bong Tuplano, Happy New Year mentors and to everyone. Angelic Dohelio, Happy New Year Coach Darwin and our dear mentors Paul Herrera. Happy New Year everyone and Happy New Year to you and your family.
Okay, and of course, also part of our Asia Cafe host, we have Mentor Neil Lumakad, who's a learning engagement leader, and Mentor Alan Cañete, who's a learning and OD practitioner. Unfortunately, both mentors won't be able to join us, but please watch them on our next succeeding episode. At of course, meron po tayong malaking pasabog mamaya kasi marami pa po ang magjo-join sa HR Cafe as HR servers. Mamaya po, i-announce po namin yan. But sa ngayon, let's start our wow quote for the week. And we've been doing this for 4 years now. And this is our way to start the tone of our show into being inspirational. And the very first wow quote for the week for 2024 is very akmang-akma siya very apt. This is coming from Karen Waddell. According to Karen Waddell, you are never too old to start over. Every day is a chance to make changes to create the life that we want. Let me just repeat this. You are never too old to start over. Every day is a chance to make changes to create life that we want. We would like to encourage everyone sa lahat po ng more than 50 people sa Panimwala Show na nakikinig ngayon. Alam ko marami pa mag-join. Please tell us how does this particular quote resonates to you. Anong ibig sabihin ng quote na to para sa inyo? I-share nyo po sa comment section para po ma-share natin sa community. But of course, let's start with our mentors. Mentor Rona, walk for the week. How does this quote resonates to you?
Nako, alam mo naman na itong mga ganitong quotes malapit na malapit sa puso ko dahil I am a firm believer of continuous learning. Ayan. So, usually maririnig
May
natin dun
bago
sa
yan
yeah.
ha. Congratulations for completing the paralegal course at UP Diliman.
Yes!
Aabot sa mag-register sana ako, hindi na ako umabot for February. Nako. So,
Yes.
congratulations.
Oo,
Isa ka
naku yung
ganap na paralegal.
woohoo! Actually, may isa pa tayong member ng Philippines HR Group. Nagkita kami noong graduation. So, hindi ko maalala yung pangalan niya. I am so sorry. Pero may isa tayong member ng Philippines HR Group na nakatapos din po ng Paralegal Training Certification Program. So, yung mga nandiyan na gusto talagang mag-focus sa labor relations, labor code, or kung nagbabala kayo na mag-law pero natatakot kayo, baka hindi nyo kayanin, yung Paralegal Certification Training Program is magandang way po siya para ma-determine nyo kung yung bang pag-aaral ng batas ay para sa inyo. So, yun po,
Ang
ini-encourage
dami-daming
ko po
time na
kayo.
Mentor Rona, no? Ang dami-daming time.
Yes, pero ang saya-saya niya. As in, super daming learning during the entire 3 months na nag-session kami doon. At ang maganda doon, online ito ha. So, alam mo yun, asynchronous siya, online, perfect for those who are working. Kahit pa ikaw ay nasa graveyard shift o kung ano pa man, perfect na perfect siya talaga. Pero hindi naman ito something na sobrang dali kasi, Diyos ko, nakakamatay talaga yung mga quiz po namin pag Monday. So, maganda talaga siyang training para sa mga gustong pumasok sa law or at least matuto lalo na doon sa labor code po. Yan.
Okay, so welcome for the week, Mentor Rona. How
Yeah,
does this
so
resonates to you?
lagi ko sinasabi na tayo bilang mga HR, and I think may nag-post nito kanina sa Philippines HR Group, na dapat palagi tayo na continuous learning tayo palagi. Hindi tayo po pwede na, masyado na ako matanda or hindi ko na kaya yan or hindi na ganun kasi ka-sharp yung kung paano ako mag-isip or kung ano pa man. Usually kasi yung pagod ng trabaho, yung dami ng ginagawa natin, masyado na tayong nako-consume noon. Kaya nakakalimutan natin yung self-development tsaka yung self-improvement. Pero walang age limit, walang time limit, walang timeline sa kung ano or kailan ka dapat matuto. Except na siguro kung magbe-medicine ka, pero medyo late na kung kunwari nasa mga 40s ka na. Pero kung kunwari self-improvement, like you would like to learn more about yung sinabi nga natin kanina, di ba, paralegal. Wala namang edad para dyan. Or you would like to take your master's in industrial relations, walang timeline para dyan. Or you just simply want to learn about, let's say, how to conduct trainings, mga short courses, gusto mo umattend, wag kayong matatakot at wag niyo sasabihin sa sarili niyo na, masyado na ako matanda para sa mga ganyang bagay. Even if it's a new learning. Let's say, right, in the middle of your career, bigla mong na-realize na, parang ayoko nang mag-HR. Parang gusto kong itry ibang trabaho naman, ibang gawain, ibang learning. I'd like to delve into digital marketing or what not. Walang timeline diyan. If it's something that you think will help you improve and kayo lang makakapag-define ng kung ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng improvement para sa inyo, go. You're never too old to start over. When you start thinking that I am too late for this, magkakaroon lang kayo ng mga regrets. And when you have regrets, you beat yourself up, mas lalo lang kayong made-depress or made-down or kung ano pa man. So always, it's never too old. You're never too old to start over, to start learning something new every day. Tulad nga nasabi ni Karen Waddell, every day is always a chance to make changes to get to the life that you want every single day. What about you, Mentor Tina? Ano masasabi mo sa ating wow quote of the week?
Well, muna Metro Team, bago ka magsalita, congratulations din kasi isa yun namang article ang nailabas mo sa Manila
Yes, Manila.
Standard. Nako,
Oo.
di ba?
Thank you so much.
Napaka-busy talaga ng mga mentors natin. At hindi lang yan. Speaking of changes, another business is you're establishing another business. So, ikaw na. So, how does this one particular quote for the week resonates to you, Metro Tina?
I think everybody starts very young, thinking that life is handed over to them. And pag merong hindi nila magampanan, it's actually the fault of luck or somebody else. So this wow quote of the week is very empowering because it puts the decision, it puts your fate in your hands. If you choose to change, if you choose to want to do something, you actually can. And so many people are saying, ay, hindi mo kaya yan. And the question is, if we choose to believe them, then we won't be able to fulfill what we want to do. And wala siyang age limit, wala siyang time na pwede mo siyang gawin. Actually, to be honest, pag mas matanda ka, mas maganda because you have a better appreciation of life. When you are younger, you feel that you still have a lot of time. You have a lot of options. Parang when you want to work, there's a lot of jobs available for you. There's a lot of careers in front of you. Pero when you reach an older age, you are more content in where you actually are. And then as you reflect where you are in your life at that crossroad, you can make changes. So for example, HR kayo for 40 years, why not be a paralegal? Why not dip your feet into law? If you want to be a host, kasi hosts now are getting paid so much, you can, 'di ba? If you want to be in business, and then parang sabi mo, ay dati for how many years nasa go-work ako, you still can. It's really just a matter of choosing and committing to that path. Because change is never easy. It is a commitment. But if we choose to make it, we can. And there's nobody else to blame but ourselves if we're not able to reach what we're able to do as when we get older. So live life with no regrets for me. How about you, Coach Darwin?
Nako, perfect example ko dito would be Colonel Sanders ng KFC. Remember, he established KFC upon retirement. 60 plus na siya noon, 64, 65 ata siya nung nag-start siya ng KFC. And it grew into a world-renowned fast food chain. So talagang wala sa age, wala sa phase ng life mo ang learning at changing and starting over again. It's really a choice that you need to make for you to be better, and not only for yourself. Because if you change for the better, madadala mo yung family mo, yung friends mo, at yung community mo. So always look into how can I improve myself? How can I improve my learning, my experience, the level of maturity that I have? Because once you improve in life, you are also given an opportunity to help others improve their lives as well. Always remember, in terms of learning, no one has a monopoly of knowledge. So each and every one of us should be able to strive and learn every day. Ako si Mentor Rona, Mentor Tina, lahat po ng mga mentors, talagang nagbabasa po kami ng books. We always attend seminars, programs, and we always ask help from our mentors and our senior mentors because natututo po kami sa kanila. At yung natutunan po namin, hindi po namin sinasarili lang. Ito po ay aming binabahagi din po sa ating community because naniniwala rin po kami na as much as you share learning, you also develop more learning for yourself. So please, never too old to start over again, never too old to start learning, continue to move forward in your life. So yun. Now next, meron bang mga nag-share ng thoughts sila about Wolf Worker Week? Mukhang wala, puro mga Happy New Year, di ba? More than 80 people right now are watching. Maraming salamat po. Ano po, nakakataba po ng puso kasi may nag-post doon. I think si D ata yun, nag-post po siya kung ano yung pinapasalamatan, nagpapasalamat sila for 2023 sa Philippine HR Group. At nagpapasalamat po kami, tabanggit po yung mga HR Cafe mentors, Mentors Tina, Mentors Rona, Mentors Alan. Talagang na-realize po namin na marami po talaga ang nakikinig, sumusuporta at nagtitiwala sa amin. Kaya pangako po namin sa inyo, patuloy po namin gagawin to every week, itong free learning program so that we continue to advance not only knowledge but also advance HR here in the Philippines. Okay? So let's go to updates from the Department of Labor and Employment. Over the past few months, nagkaroon na po tayo, noong 2023, nagkaroon po ng malawakang pagtaas uli ng sweldo sa iba't ibang lalawigan dito sa Pilipinas. Nag-start po yan nung after nung 2022, tapos sa 2023. Ngayon, in 2024, meron pong paalala na may new minimum wage order po ang in-issue for Northern Mindanao region. The Regional Tripartite Wages Productivity Board or RTWPB in Region 10, ito po yung Northern Mindanao, a motu proprio issued wage order number RX-22 on December 19, 2023, granting po ng 23 pesos additional minimum wage increase across all categories effectively, and also additional 10 pesos as a second tranche on July 1, 2024. So technically, magiging 33 pesos ang increase sila come July 1, 2024. So napakagandang balita po yan para po sa mga kababayan natin magagawa sa Northern Mindanao. Also, upon full implementation of the two tranches, the daily minimum wage rate in Region 10 shall be 423 to 438 pesos. Paalala po yan sa ating mga HR leaders sa nasa Mindanao. 423 to 438 po ang bago yung minimum wage pagdating po ng July 1, 2024. For non-agricultural naman po, ayan po yung rate, at for agricultural sector, it's 411 to 426 for the agricultural sector. So the RTWPB is also issued a motu proprio order RX DW-04, increasing naman po yung mga kasambahay natin. So may 500 po na increase ang ating mga kasambahay for first-class municipalities and 1,500 for other municipalities. So effectively, ang rate po ng mga kasambahay ay nasa 5,000 pesos na po. So paalala po yan, hindi lang po para sa mga employers, but pati po para sa mga merong mga kasambahay. So patuloy po na nakikipag-ugnayan ang Philippines HR Group sa Department of Labor and Employment para po maibahagi ang anumang updates coming from them. Okay? Mentor Rona, SSS, ano bang bago ngayong taong ito?
Siyempre, hindi natin makakalimutan ng ating paboritong SSS. May mga reminders po ang ating friendly SSS neighbor para po sa PRN po ng inyo pong mga loans. Ito po ay magiging accessible every 7th day of the month onwards. So, pa nag-check po kayo, January 1 hanggang kahapon po, wala pa po kayong makikita or hindi pa kayo makakapag-generate ng PRN para sa inyong mga loans kasi available lang po yan starting po today onwards. Tandaan po natin ay isa na lang po ang date na inaabangan natin pagdating po sa mga payments. End of the month po yan palagi. PRN po for contributions are available 6th day of the month onwards, pero ang loans po 7th day of the month onwards po ang pag-generate po niyaan. Okay? At syempre pa po, nire-remind din po ng SSS ang ating po mga members na kung kayo po ay meron po kayo nung inyong SSS UMID, maaari po kayong makasama doon po sa Ascenso Raffle. Ito po ay maaari kayong manalo ng isang Nissan Navara, which is the grand prize, 6 na Yamaha NMAX, monthly prize po nila, or 72 na 5,000 SMGCs, weekly prize po nila yan. Kung kayo po ay merong SSS UMID pay card under Union Bank. Okay? Pinapaalala din po ng SSS, maaari na rin po kayong mag-generate ng PRN, hindi lang po para sa salary loan, kung hindi para sa calamity, emergency, and restructured loans using my.sss. Lahat po yan ay available na po doon. Okay? At kung kayo naman po ay meron po kayong mga kilala na mga pensioners, yung mga nanay, tatay ninyo, kung sila po ay SSS pensioners, pinapaalala po ng SSS na kailangan na po nilang mag-present para po sa ACOP or Annual Confirmation of Pensioners Program starting March 2024. So dati po kasi pag yung mga retirement pensioners na nasa Pilipinas who are regardless of their age actually, dati hindi po sila required na mag-present na. Ang kailangan lang mag-present yung kailangan magpakita sa SSS is yung mga nasa ibang bansa. So hanapin nila yung SSS na office doon sa kanila. Pero dito po, dati hindi na po kailangan. Ngayon po ang sabi na ng SSS, babaguhin na po natin yan kasi lifted naman na mga restrictions. So effective March 2024 po, 80 years old and above, kailangan nyo na pong mag-present for ACOP. Okay, Annual Confirmation of Pensioners Program for 80 years old and above lang naman po. So kung ang retiree po ay nasa mga 65, 70, hindi pa po kailangan, pero 80 years old and above, kailangan na pong mag-present. Kasama pa rin po sa mga kailangan mag-present ay yung mga retirees residing abroad, those who are total disability pensioners, and dependents po under guardianship. Ang schedule po nito, pag retirement and total disability pensioner, kung kailan po yung kanyang month of birth, pag death or survivor pensioner, month of birth ng deceased member, pag dependent children po under guardianship, month of birth of the member or yung kung sino man po yung deceased member. Ayan po. Pag naman po, pagdating po sa manner of compliance and requirements with personal appearance or visual confirmation, over-the-counter lang po ito sa SSS branch or office. Pwede rin po ang video conferencing and SSS prescribed internet platforms, which is the MS Teams. Pag personal appearance naman, pwede rin po ang personal appearance via mail, email, or filed through guardian or duly authorized representatives. Others as may be determined by SSS. So pag meron pa pong ibang way ng pagpe-present, pwede po kayong i-require ng SSS na mag-adhere po doon. Para po sa buong announcement nitong ACOP na ito, pwede nyo pong i-scan yung QR code na nakikita nyo po sa screen right now para po doon sa lahat yung kabuuang detalye ng kung paano po magpe-present. Para lang po ito sa mga retirees ha. So regardless po, sa mga pensioners, regardless po ng kung anong uri kayo ng pensioner, check nyo po yung QR code kasi baka meron pong requirement for presentation. Okay? Ayan po.
Okay, Mentor Tina, any updates coming from Pag-ibig in PhilHealth?
Nako po, meron na pong announcement si PhilHealth regarding sa 2024 contributions. Pero before that, update po sa Pag-ibig is that the Pag-ibig Fund OFW Center in Pasay has now moved to a location to a better, nicer third floor of Ayala Malls, Manila Bay, Parañaque City. Their doors are open to serve all OFWs as well as other members. All transactions will now be transferred to the new OFW Center. So nakita po natin na pwedeng mas maganda na. So after tayo magpag-ibig, pwede po tayong mag-shopping.
Iba
Next
talaga ang
po.
Pag-ibig, no? Talagang gumagawa sila ng way para
Very
mapalapit sila sa masa.
effective.
Mm-mm.
Yes, correct. Tapos po, members are also expected to have higher benefits from PhilHealth kasi mas malaki din ang ating contribution starting
Yun
from
nga.
January
Oo.
1. So
Tuloy na ba
Mm.
talaga ang pag-increase sa
Tuloy na.
contribution? Mm.
Meron na pong announcement that effective January 1, 2024, PhilHealth will implement the additional premium schedule to all direct contributors. So as of 2024, dapat po is 5% na po tayo whereas dati po is less than that, 4 point ano lang siya, 4%, right? So yung all the premium contribution is already in effect in all PhilHealth collection systems such as the over-the-counter collection system, electronic premium remittance system, and the PhilHealth member portal. Pero ang kapalit naman is sana mas mataas din po ang benefit na makukuha natin sa PhilHealth with increased financial coverage for Filipinos' hospitalization expenses. Next po.
Agree, agree. Now, of course, we will be going to the next part of our program. At ito po yung pinaka-aabangan. Sabi nga ni Mentor Rona kanina, palagi po
Mm.
namin ini-invite tong senior mentor na to set the tune of the year. So, I will give the floor to Mentor Tina to properly introduce our special guest speaker and our senior mentor to Philippines HR Group. Who will be discussing what HR framework ba talaga ang magbibigay o would bring organizational efficiency. Lalo na ngayong 2024, lalo na ngayong taon to. Kasi napakaraming HR frameworks di ba? Maraming mga companies, iba't iba yung kanilang philosophy pagdating sa HR framework. But we will learn from Sir Sonnie Santos what is the best and most efficient framework in HR that we can implement for this year. Mentor Tina, can you please properly introduce our senior mentor, Mr. Sonnie Santos?
My pleasure. Sir Sonnie Santos has over 25 years of experience in people management and development, plus opening 20 new business centers from pre-construction to completion under his belt. He is currently advising SMEs on strategic HRs to prepare the organization for growth and mentors young HR professionals on the many complexities of HR operations. He is at the forefront of technological evolution before even the social web becomes mainstream. So he is actually one of the most respected HR leaders in the Philippines today. He also offers his services in personal and organizational branding, content marketing and management, and digital safe spaces. He is a keynote speaker who enjoys giving talks about his advocacies, leadership principles, and life purpose. He is a co-creator and a 2022 partner of Job Street Philippines. He is a co-founder of HR Collectives, Learning and Organizational Development Institute, or Lodi Inc. and Blog Watch. He is a chief people and organization strategies and executive advisor of Jake Brothers Inc. He is a CHRO of Market Reach International Resources, among many others. We're so lucky to have Sir Sonnie Santos, who is also a pillar of HR awardee, chief people strategist, co-founder, and co-creator to start off our 2024 with a big bang at the HR Cafe. He will talk about people-centric framework, and we are so excited to give him the floor so he can actually teach us how our 2024 is supposed to be. All right, Sir Sunny, over
Sir
to you.
Sonnie, magandang araw po ang isa sa ating Pillars of HR Awardee na 2023. Sir Sonnie, you're on mute.
Nakamute.
Okay.
Yan.
Yan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Darwin, Rona, and Tina for the invitation. And of course, I am more than willing to share my thoughts and insights para sa ating mga ka-community.
We almost
Happy New Year
have
to everyone.
100 people watching you, Sir Sonnie. So we'll give you the
Hello,
floor
people.
to discuss people-centric framework in HR.
Okay. Now, a lot of us, somehow, gusto nating makapag-contribute ng maayos sa ating mga kanya-kanyang organization. Okay? And wala akong nakausap na pumasok sa HR na wala lang. Wala silang magawa sa buhay kaya nag-HR sila o nagtrabaho sila. But in fact, the reason why, number one, they chose HR, it's because 99% they said they enjoy it and they thought it is their calling. Okay? And with that on mind, lahat ng nakausap kong HR with a few exceptions, talagang ini-invest nila yung emotions nila, ini-invest nila yung future nila and dito sa organization. And they really wanted to add value. But the question is always, paano? Di ba? And yung efficiency and effectiveness natin is always dependent on our mindset. Okay? Now, for our participants, I would encourage you to do is scan the QR code and participate in our short survey because ito yung pag-uumpisahan ng ating discussion. Ang question lang naman dyan is basically, um, para sa'yo, ano ba ang HR framework mo? Okay? Now, I would like to figure out and I would like to find out, para sa'yo, ano ba? Diba? So we can level and we can somehow uh, 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 engage you in a specific level or item para mas maging maganda ang ating discussion. So, I hope you could take a few minutes. Choose your own word. Don't worry. There is no right or wrong answer. Uh, Gusto ko lang malaman kung nasaan kayo para we will be having a fantastic discussion. Okay, we already have a few answers. All right. Okay. Let me share with you the screen para nakikita niyo yung live results. Yan. Okay, keep on participating. All right. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. 30 seconds more. Overwhelming talaga yung puso. Ano? Ganyan ba? O ganito? Okay. All right. Sige. Darwin, pwede ba dito ang audience participation? Can they participate and share? Bakit nila napili yung heart? Is there a facility o pwede lang nilang i-chat? Rona, Tina, can they share their thoughts, yung ating audience? O isa-chat lang nila? Okay. So, HR peeps, you can justify, you can explain your thoughts, your answers via our chat facility. Bakit nyo po nasabing puso? Bakit nyo po nasabing soul? Bakit nyo nasabing North Star or guide? Compass. Yan. The spirit, the spine, the brain, the leader. Okay, can somebody please share their thoughts? Tingnan ko po dito sa ating chat. Okay, waiting for your comments. Okay, sabi ng isang ka-HR natin, the heart is the seat of human essence. Okay, that's why they chose heart. All right, sabi naman ni Rona, it's fine because it is the one that provides or gives structure. Okay, pero overwhelming yung heart, ano, hindi nagbabago. Every time that I will do the survey, regardless of the generation and tenure, kadalasan talaga heart ang pinipili nila. I'm waiting for one more comment before we proceed. Okay, one more. Okay, mukhang, oops, yeah, si Renzo sabi niya, oops, hindi pala comment to. Okay, sabi ni Bong, HR stems from the human heart. All right, okay, so let's go back to our presentation. Okay, now bakit ko kailangan munang tanungin kung ano yung framework natin? Because sometimes our framework will lead us into this. Yan din yung nakikita ninyo sa background ko. Okay? Depende doon sa ating framework kung paano na-appreciate ng top management yung ating ginagawa. Yun din yung magdidikta sa participation natin as an employee and as a department doon sa organization. Okay? Now, kung hahatiin natin yung mga sagot ninyo kanina doon sa survey, overwhelming yung heart, okay? And pwede natin isama doon yung sinasabi ninyong puso, yung soul, okay? Pwede natin ipasok din doon yung vital part, okay? Pwede din ipasok doon yung sinasabi ninyong spirit, okay? And then for the rest ng sagot, doon iba-iba. Pero somehow ito'y related, like being the leader, being the North Star, being the guide, being the strategic partner, being the backbone of the organization, etc. So lumalabas talagang dalawa lang yung pwedeng pagkahatian ito. Okay? So, since sinabi nyo, ang sinasabi is HR is the heart. Now, let me just share with you my personal experience and my observations. Personal experience throughout the years and observations ko dun sa mga upcoming as well as currently HR professionals. Kadalasan naka-angkla yung framework natin. Pag sinabing puso, andyan din yung tinatawag nilang calling ko to. Okay? So pag sinabi nating calling, and lagi nating kino-convey yung word na calling, tapos sinishare natin sa ating network na all around tayo, napapagod na tayo, pero we're giving and doing the extra mile, and so on and so forth. I'm not saying it is wrong because that is one of the key feature of an HR professional. We do the extra mile. Okay? At hindi tayo nagkukwenta. At least 99% of the HR professionals that I have engaged with. Alright? And every time pag kinakausap ko ang isang HR professional, kung kamusta na ba yung compensation nila, 90% hindi nila maangat o masabi o ma-request sa top management yung sarili nilang adjustment. They can fight for the other employees in terms of justify why they needed this adjustment, the alignment, etc. Pero pag pag-uusapan na yung tungkol sa ating sarili as an HR professional, parang we tend to rely on the good graces of our bosses or the top management kung ano ba yung nararapat na ibigay sa atin. Okay? Now, isa pang disadvantage, if I would call it, for lack of better term, pag kinuha natin itong framework na to na heart, minsan, tinitake advantage tayo ng tao. Kasi para bang pag sinabi nila na, o di ba calling mo yan as an HR. So kung calling mo yan, ina-expect sa atin na we will stretch, we will do overtime even without compensation. Sinasanay natin sila because of this framework. Pupunta tayo ng Sunday, day off natin. Kadalasan noon, when I was still the head of HR, kahit day off, punta ako office. I have to do some of my other stuff kasi hindi ko magawa during the regular work day. At tuwang-tuwa pa ako noon. Diba? Parang pang ginagawa ko pang pamantayan yung sarili ko dun sa iba. Bakit hindi niyo magawa yan? HR ka. Okay? Now, dahil sinasanay natin sila dyan, chances are, for lack of better term, okay, ang tendency is to dump more work sa atin, tapos, because we do not expect any compensation naman in return. And chances are we keep quiet at hahanap tayo ng kapwa HR natin to share our frustration, share our pain, share our hurts. Okay. Now again, I'm not saying heart is a wrong framework. Okay. I'm simply saying merong repercussion yun eh. Pagka ito yung ating framework. Then another one, pag sinabi kasi natin heart, parang ang peg, ang dating natin is, um, para tayong nanay na kailangan mong ipaglaban lahat ng empleyado para bang ang tingin natin sa ibang mga managers is mga kalaban para mga billing. Okay? Tapos ang tingin natin sa management is sila yung nagte-take advantage sa employee. Okay? So parang ang dating tuloy is kulang na lang maging leader tayo ng inyo. Because naka-framework tayo na alright, okay. Then, kailangan kung inaabuso itong tao, ay ipaglaban natin. Again, I'm not saying it is wrong. Okay? Because I have locked heads several times with management. And that's the reason why after becoming a VP and after I resigned as a VP, ang naging pangako ko sa sarili ko, I will never be an employee again. And that was on 2010. Okay? And I will never allow any management to use me to take advantage of other employees. So, huwag niyong isipin na I am not practicing this. Sinasabi ko lang sa inyo na if you focus too much on this, hindi natin nakikita yung bigger picture. Ang nakikita lang natin, we need to nurture the employee. Okay? Dahil pag sinabi din kasi natin, we are the heart, we are positioning ourselves as a division, as a service provider, as an employee, na nandoon tayo sa front end, na nandoon tayo sa parang nurses, na nandoon sa services, nasa customer service, and so forth. Again, I'm not saying this is wrong, okay? Because part of HR role is employee services. And therefore, to be an effective service provider, dapat meron tayong element ng puso. Okay? Kaya lang, if HR is a service provider, naisip na ba natin, ano ba yung services na dapat din natin ini-expand doon sa top management? Ano ba yung services na dapat natin ini-expand doon sa executive level, doon sa board? Now, if we focus too much on the heart and servicing the people, okay, I'm not saying again that it is wrong, but we are already dictating the parameters of what we can do for the organization. So, why don't we open ourselves doon sa thought na what kind of services should I offer para sa top management? So, dito ngayon papasok yung sinabi nyo kanina that we are the backbone, that we are the vital organ, that we are the North Star, that we are the guide, okay? Or we are the spine. Because HR is more than a heart. HR is the one that keeps the organization standing and in order. Okay? Dito ngayon papasok yung services that we can extend and that we can offer to top management. Now, for the last several years, my exposure is on executive HR. Okay? Ito lang yung mababahagi ko sa inyo. Habang nagpapakapuso tayo, lalong nagiging utak management ang management at lalo silang nagiging firm na teka muna, babalansehin ko kayo, HR. Kasi hindi na tama yung eskwela ninyo. Okay? But you know what? Based on my experience, kung halimbawang nagsishift ako doon sa position nila, like halimbawa ito yung specific example. Very recently doon sa isa sa mga client ko. Yung isang manager, nagpantig yung tenga ko kasi nagpapatulong. Sinabi niya doon sa mini-mentor ko, HR kayo, dapat tulungan niyo kami kung paano tanggalin yung tao, hindi niyo pinipigilan kami kung ano yung gusto naming gawin na parang ikabubuti ng organization. E di, kinausap ko tong taong to. Sabi ko, ang role ng HR, hindi para gawing tama ang isang mali, para lang mapagsilbihan kayo. Sabi ko, dahil meron kayong gustong tanggalin na wala sa tamang proseso. Okay, pagbibigyan kita kasi ayokong sabihin mo na ang HR hindi nagpa-participate. Sige, tanggalin natin yan. Pero meron tayong waiver. Kako. Pag yan naghabla, pag yan pumunta sa DOLE, all the cost involved, pagdating doon sa mediation, pagdating doon sa mga separation pay that we will be paying the employee, mga financial assistance, it's a charge to say yan. So, if you're willing to be accountable on that decision, I will be supporting you. Walang problem. Okay? In-escalate ko ngayon yan doon sa may-ari. Then ako yung nag-push sa kanya na ganito. You know what? Naging baliktad. Kasi ang sabi niya, I think, Sonnie, that is too much. Okay? Now, I do not want to cross the line. Sabi niya, I will agree with you na ganyan. Sige, pero to charge it to them, wag na natin gawin. So, para sa kanya, siya yung naging puso. Ako, hindi, nung position ko yung sarili ko na this is how the management thinks, accountability, ayaw mo mag-comply, you would are willing to take the risk dahil gusto mo tanggalin yung tao, fine, I will not be on your way. However, kung merong repercussion pagdating dyan, then also be a man or a woman to face the consequences. Yun yung premise ko. Nung pinag-usapan namin ng may-ari, siya yung naging puso. Okay? But 99% of my discussion with them, every time na ang HR masyadong nagkikling sa pagiging consideration, pagiging humane. Alright? Then the more na hindi nagiging humane ang top management. Ulitin ko the more ng isang HR nagpapakapuso at pinupush forward yung pagiging considerate, pagiging makatao. Again, I'm not saying this is wrong. This is not wrong. Alright? Sinasabi ko lang sa inyo how I saw it and how I experienced it in real life. The more HR pushes it, the more na naging stonewall ang management, ang executive level. Okay? But if HR will present the bigger picture at sasabihin mo sa kanya, okay, gusto nating panindigan, yung gusto nating panindigan, alright, okay, game call ako pagdating dyan. So option 1, instead na magbayad tayo sa dulo, kasi ganito yung mangyayari niya, repercussion niya, ganito, magkakaroon ng kaso, may lawyers and everything. So let's prepare a financial assistance and sit down with the employee. Sabihin natin, let's call it quits. This is the financial assistance we can extend to. Option 1. Option 2, kung tayo magbigay ng consideration, laban tayo kung laban. Pero these are the approximate costs pagdating sa dulo. Labor expenses, lawyer expenses and representation. On top of that, ano yung magiging amicable settlement pagdating dyan. Sabi ko, between the two, piliin natin which is less costly, and secondly, ano yung hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng unnecessary mental wellness issue. Okay. Then, sila mag-iisip ngayon and they will become more humane instead of pushing our luck because we thought kailangan natin ipaglaban ang lahat ng Again, I'm not saying it is wrong. What I'm simply saying is, ano ba yung framework natin para i-present natin ito? Are you learning? Can I see some raise of hands if you are learning so far before I proceed? Can I get a reaction? All right, okay. Okay, thank you, people. So now I basically simplified everything. Do we want to continue with the framework that we are the heart, and because we are the heart, we are the service provider. We wanted to magkaroon ng personal touch and take care of the employee. I'm not saying it is wrong, all right? I'm simply saying putting so much emphasis on this. And then because of that, we have to factor in that HR is a service provider. And aside from offering employee services, we might as well include in our framework specific strategies and action steps on how do we serve top management. Okay? So let me just share with you two basic framework kung papaano. The first one, since January ngayon, how do you assist the organization in crafting, in implementing, and in checking, monitoring the action items? We always look at the KPIs. So how do we assist and help them? So this is the simple framework that I can offer and share with you. Ang kadalasan, 70% of my engagement, ang mga plano is sintonado doon sa mission and vision. And yung mga action steps is hindi anchored on core values. So this is where HR should step in. Now, for me to simplify, ano ba yung tatlong areas that you should focus on or focus with is number one, yung organization and culture. Okay. And secondly, it's more on learning and development. So when we talk about learning and development, kasama lang dyan yung engagement and everything. And of course, kasama dyan yung total rewards. I'm not talking about payroll, but I'm also talking about the entire reward system. Okay? Now, punta tayo sa specific HR silo. Now, to simplify things, tignan niyo na lang na ang employee ang focus natin. Okay? And then, the thing that organizes or that holds the employee together is itong HR strategies. Ito yung pundasyon na kumakapit dito sa racket. Okay? Yung tinutungtungan ng racket. Yan yung HR strategy. Alright? Tapos yun namang nag-energize dito sa racket para mag-take off at ma-achieve nila yung company objectives. Okay? Ito naman yung tinatawag nating people strategies. Okay, two phases yan. Again, this is the first phase. During the planning phase, the organization-wide process, they make sure the HR should be able to align the whole process and consistent ito pagdating dun sa core values, the mission, and the vision. And you have the measurable action items for your measurement and performance management. And focus on these three areas. Now, once this is done, di-drill down ka naman dito doon sa specific strategies mo bilang HR. So, hahatiin mo yan ulit sa dalawa. Yung nandirito sa tungtungan, sa pundasyon. This is what makes sure na hindi isasabog ang organization. Ito namang people strategies atong vertical. This is what energizes the people or the rocket to take off. Ulitin ko, people strategies is what makes what energizes the employees or the organization to bring in the additional bandwidth, whether that is sales, whether that is expansion or what. So, dyan papasok yan. Now, para naman masiguro na hindi isasabog yung organization because of the additional bandwidth, papasok yan yung HR strategies. Ito yung andirito sa ibaba. Okay? That's my simplest way of explaining what are the two differences the basic approach on how we can serve our management pagdating dyan. All right? Okay, I guess that's it. So if you have some questions, you can post it in, or any reaction, you can post it in the comment section, and I will be glad to respond to it as much as I understand it and as much as I know. Thank you very much, people.
Tina, naka-ano ka, naka-mute ka. Wait lang.
May mga tanong po tayo kay Sir Sonnie regarding doon sa kanyang topic or any other topic. Ay,
Ako
wala
meron,
po.
Sir Sunny.
Yes,
This is
sure.
something that I would like to ask. Di ba, I'd always think that it will all be yung HR model or yung HR framework would all be based on the philosophy and culture of the company. Kasi for example, there are companies who would say that we treat each other here as a family, but in reality, family do not terminate one another if the person has been not performing, di ba? They would normally help each other, but sa philosophy nila, even if we treat our employees as family, the business is still a business. It's a non-charitable organization. So medyo may meron talagang pagkakabangga minsan nung culture sa philosophy. Paano po natin maiiwasan yun, Sir Sunny? Wherein the leaders is saying one thing and yet the culture is different from what it's being experienced by the people on the ground. Is it really something na dapat unified philosophy and culture and understanding ang mga leaders and employees on what is the kind of culture and framework that they would follow, or it will be dependent talaga dun sa leader or doon sa head ng isang company?
Well, una sa lahat, dapat ang role ng HR is to go up and clarify. And dito yung challenge ngayon. Kasi kung halimbawa, si HR walang access pataas, di ba, then tali na yung kamay niya. Okay, ang magiging option na lang niya pagdating dyan is to adapt doon sa existing culture na meron ganon. And it will be frustrating kung hindi align ito doon sa kanyang long-term goals, long-term plans, as well as sa kanyang personal core values. And meron akong isang na-interview na aspiring HR manager. No? Actually, at the age of 28, pwede na nga siyang senior manager. And she is receiving a good incentive and good package. Pero she chose to resign. Sabi ko, why are you leaving this organization and applying to us? Kasi sabi niya, ang gulo ng organisasyon, wala silang isang direksyon. Sila nag-aaway. May access siya sa taas. Kinlarify niya. Inalay niya yung core values and everything. Pero yung management mismo is ayaw. Gustong maging status quo. Okay? So, ang recourse niya, nag-file siya ng resignation noong November. Pero out of consideration na lang doon sa company hanggang wala pa siyang malilipatan, pinapakiusapan siya wag muna umalis. Okay? So, in that case, we have to accept reality. Diba? Una, ang role muna natin is to go up and clarify. Okay? Ngayon, kung na-clarify na natin and meron kang buy-in to align everything, then that's a good initiative, that's a good start because that means nag-transition ka na from a simple service provider sa employee, naging service provider ka na sa top management. The moment na binigyan ka ng opportunity to change the organization, the culture, diba? Then, hindi ka na service provider ng employee. However, kung halimbawa, pagdating doon, gusto nilang manatili na lang ng asite. Or, ang scenario mo is, wala, dead end ka na. Diba? Then, it's a question of your mental health kung gaano ka katagal makakatiis doon sa ganong environment, di ba? And gain as much experience as you can para sa iyong credibility before you move forward. Nung panahon namin, pagka ganyan, tiis ka, di ba? Because wala kang masyadong options and then hanggang sa you work your way out. But sa ngayon, it doesn't follow kasi there are a lot of options. And if you think it would hamper your growth, then why stay?
I
Another
do have,
question, Sir
mm,
Sonny. Ay, sige. Last na lang,
yeah,
Mentor
Okay,
Tina.
okay, okay.
go.
Sir Sunny, there is this notion, di ba kanina sa survey nyo, that HR is always the heart of the organization. And we were trying to explain that we're not only the heart, but basically we're the spinal cord. We put everything all together, di ba? But a lot of people also would see as HR as the bridge between management and the employees. But there is this confidential article written by an Microsoft leader in HR that says that ang HR daw hindi dapat ituring ng employee na kakampi, because basically HR is part of the leadership team of management, and as much as possible the duty of HR is to take care of the interests of management. What's your thoughts about it, Sir Sunny?
I agree with it 101%. Kaya nga, bago dapat tayo magpirma ng job offer, dapat i-clarify muna natin yung expectations. Eh. And even bago tayo dumating doon sa job offer, bago tayo mag-submit ng application o pagka in-invite tayo ng executive headhunter, ni-research muna natin yung company. Nagtanong-tanong muna tayo, ano bang kultura nitong kumpanyang ito? Diba? Before we even proceed. Okay? Now, in my generation, hindi ganun ka-available yung sa feedbacking dahil wala pa namang masyadong social media noon. Okay? So, sometimes you will be entering the organization blinded because you really do not know ano yung kultura at bakit umalis yung papalitan mong HR. Okay? And nasunog ako dyan. Tatlo lang naman yung kumpanya. Dalawa lang naman yung kumpanya ko. Diba? So, nasunog ako pagdating doon sa isa because iba yung expectation eh. Okay? And that's the reason why I decided that I will never be an employee again. I will not allow any management to use me as a tool to take advantage of the employee. Now, balik ako doon sa question mo, i-clarify muna. Ano ba ang expected mo sa akin? If you are trusting me as an HR person to protect your interests, that means you will listen to me, diba? If you are on the wrong. Now, kung nasa mali ka, tapos gagamitin mo ako para magmukhang tama ang isang sitwasyon, and that is something na medyo hindi tayo nakikita eye to eye. And let me share with you what I also discovered. Pag ang HR nag-uumpisa, andiyan yung puso eh. Okay? Pero ang pinagtataka ko, yung iba habang tumataas, nagiging asshole. Okay? Now, then, I tried to analyze bakit nagkakaganon. There comes a time in our HR profession that we will be forced to choose to save our job and ignore our personal core values or ignore listening to our conscience because we cannot afford to lose this much money, or continue listening to our conscience and live with our personal core values. The moment an HR chooses to save his or her ass, doon nawawala yung puso. Okay lang kung nagiging spine eh, kaso nagiging transactional. Hindi na niya nakikita yung tao as tao. Parang pag nag-inquire na siya, ito na naman itong si ganito. Ang kulit niya kausap, bakit na lang na ganitong ganyan? O minsan malayo pa lang, ano na naman? Diba? So, may na-encounter ako. I'm not sure if it is still happening right now with the millennials and with the Gen Z, you know. Pero, at least based on my sphere, based on my community when I was still growing as an HR, ito yung isang bagay na na-realize ko. Nagiging astig, tumitibay yung dibdib. Okay? Simply because it may not be true to everyone. Alright? So if medyo nakakasagasa ako ng iba, apologies. I do not mean to malign or hurt anybody. I'm simply stating my observation. It may not be factual to you, but at least on the circle and the people that I knew. And I personally validated it to them kung bakit sila nagkaganyan. Ang sagot nila sa akin, kung aalis ako ngayon, Sunny, saan ko kukunin yung alternate source of income pagdating dyan? Now, if I may, that is the reason kung bakit nagtayo kami ng kooperatiba sa HR. Under sa radar yan ngayon, hindi namin pinupush because we are wanting to make sure na medyo everything is moving as it is, fluidly, before we even open it up to everybody. But my primary consideration for that is, habang entry level pa lang si HR, mag-umpisa na siyang magkaroon ng investment or side business. Para habang tumataas siya, yung other sources of income niya, kasabay na tumataas ng kanyang salary. So pag na-threaten siya dito sa main source ng income niya, hindi siya mag-iisip na I will save my ass. Dahil alam niya, meron akong backup. That HR, that kind of HR na hindi takot na mawalan ng trabaho is the kind of HR that I am always recommending doon sa mga CEO friends ko. If the HR is not willing to lose their job and not willing to put their job on the line because of what they believe, and they will always agree with you, then you hire the wrong HR. I hope I answered your question, Darwin.
Thank you, Sir Sonny, and I hope that our audience, more than 100, almost 100 audience, are also able to get to grasp that particular philosophy. Dr. Tina, may gusto
Yes.
kang itanong.
Sir Sunny, part of your background is to be an SME, helping SMEs with their HR requirements and lalo na sa business strategy. Now, many of the small companies, so for example, maraming mga HR gusto magnegosyo, right? So they start off small. And compared to large companies who have a complete array of benefits, including HMOs, 20 to 30 days of paid leave, bonuses, cars, etc. Most small companies, actually, yung work nila is very, how do you say it? Medyo may pagka-grunt work. Right? For example, mag-ano ka, magbebenta ka ng siopaw sa labas ng bahay mo, or magda-dropshipping ka, or magbe-bake ka. Syempre, the requirement that you have for these people is it's mostly manual labor. And as we saw in PISA, it is also true that a lot of the labor pool in the Philippines are not even college graduates. Some are high school graduates, some are grade school graduates, and not everybody are really equipped from a higher level of jobs. For many of these companies, they give benefits na hindi mandated sa batas. Karamihan dito are stay-in, free yung pagkain, yung schooling ng anak, libre, yung asawa, parang nakikitira. But these are not mandated by law. Ang mandated by law is SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, holiday pay, night differential, service incentive leave. But many of these employers also believe that parang they're giving actually more than what is mandated, but in a different way. And if they do not allow these people to live or stay in, yung buong pamilya, etong mga taong 'to hindi na mahirap din silang mag-start magtrabaho. They have no other options din. Kasi they have to pay the rent, they have to pay the food. So, ang ano ko is, many of the companies are in this type of position. As an HR din, syempre minsan lumalaki din yung company na yon. So, nadadala din 'tong mga tao na 'to. If the company really follows the law, many of these employees should be terminated. Kasi makikita mo minsan late, pasaway, nakatinela, sabi mo, if a company wants to become bigger and formalize, sa totoo lang, if you really want to be strict by law, dapat mag-upskill na rin yung company. Tanggalin na yung dating mas less skilled and hire somebody a little bit more capable. Pero sayang naman tong mga tao na to na matagal na rin sa company. May pinagsamahan in so to speak. How would you recommend these type of HRs or these type of companies na lumalaki and they want to be compliant, but at the same time, they have a lot of baggage of these employees na living in with them and with all these other benefits. Pero meron ding mga mandated benefits na wala. How do you move forward?
Well, bago tayo dun sa corrective, dun muna tayo sa preventive. Okay? Kasi lahat ng mga naging clients ko and existing clients ko, yan yung tinrabaho namin. Ito yung lagi kong
Yes.
sinasabi sa mga entrepreneurs. Yes, they agree with me that their business is like a baby. And because they invested their emotions on that, lalo na kung hindi sila serial entrepreneur. Yung serial entrepreneur kasi kung kaysa lang
Mm.
kumikita, bato lang silang investment dun eh. Walang puso. Wala yung emotion doon.
Mm.
And it's not necessarily wrong,
Mm.
it's just a fact. Pero yung
Mm.
mga first-time entrepreneurs, andyan dyan yung puso. So,
Mm.
pag meron silang nakita na gustong tulungan, ang framework nila, I want this person to grow with me. Okay?
Yes.
That is not necessarily wrong. And I will cite you two
Mm.
examples. Everybody knows that I came from SM and I spent 10 years of my HR life there. And one thing that I learned from them, yung kanilang mga dating messenger, naging lawyer, yung dating nila electrician, naging engineer, naging VP. Okay? Tapos, at
Mm.
a certain point, nag-spin off ng company. Tapos, ibinigay ito doon sa mga pioneer employees nila.
Mm.
In-outsource in specific area, specific service. And I can name people na nag-umpisa when SM is nobody, na naging somebody.
Mm.
As the SM grows, nag-invest din sa kanila. And then when I co-organized one of the anniversaries back then, and even though I'm not part of the department store at the time, I was able to access and interview some people who was with Tatang, the late Tatang, when they were still starting.
Mm.
Ang naging tanong namin sa kanila, bakit hanggang ngayon po ay kayo sales associate pa rin? Huwag niyo lang po sanang mamasamain. Pero nagtataka lang ho kami. Bakit? Yes, we are happy that you're still with the company after so many years. Pero parang naman mawala doon sa iniisip ko, bakit hindi kayo na-promote? Bakit nandiyan pa rin kayo hanggang ngayon? Okay. Sabi nila, inoperan po kami na mag-aral. Binigay po sa amin itong opportunities to, pero sinabi na lang po namin, maraming salamat po sa trabaho. Happy na ho kami dun sa trabaho. Okay? Now, the SM way of handling those people is, regardless kung matagal na namin silang kakilala, di ba? Whatever is necessary, whatever is right, whatever is legal, gawin ninyo. Huwag kayong masisinda kung halimbawa, alam ninyong may access sa akin, alam ninyong malapit sa pamilya, kung ano yung dapat na ina-expect ninyong gawin ninyo. In fact, ang rule nila noon, pag nag-refer sila, huwag mong i-hire kagad. Balikan mo sila, bigyan mo ng comprehensive report kung bakit dapat mong i-hire o hindi. Pag inire-recommend mong i-hire, mas malalagay ka sa alanganin. Okay? Kasi ayaw nila nung dahil galing sa amin i-hire mo. Tapos pangalawa, I know some people there na kahit na butigero lang sila, anytime they can access one of the siblings at nanghihingi ng damit, baka may pinaglumaan ka dyan ng ganito, baka pwede ibigay mo na lang sa akin. Dinadala sila sa bahay at pinapakuha ng damit. Sabi lang, nagkakabiruan lang. Sabi ko nga lang, wag mo kunin yung mga underwear ko dyan. Kunin mo lang yung sa iba. Because the management design of SM at the time, I'm not sure if it's still the same right now, diba? Yung siblings, nag-umpisa bilang bodigero, bilang kahera, bilang dispatchadora. So yung mga kasabayan nilang employee, nung andudun pa sila, kadalasan, nasa SM pa yon nung bago ko umalis. So yung mga kasabayan nila, yun yung may access sa kanila. Okay? But in terms of employer-employee relationship, walang kaibang treatment. No special treatment. Okay? Paano yung mga nasa medium and small size pa rin hanggang ngayon? Ito yung problema. Kaya lagi kong sinasabi, start it right the moment you start the business in terms of HR. Tapos makakapag-project ka dyan. Okay? Kung ang isang baby, wala pang isang taon, meron ka ng damit, meron ka ng crib, di ba? Hindi pa nag-aaral, nag-invest ka na para doon sa pag-aaral niya. bakit hindi mo ginagawa sa kumpanya? Okay. And isa sa mga pinakamahirap na ituwid, kasi ito yung isa sa mga kaibigan ko, client ko din. Nung nag-umpisa siya, lahat ng nakita niyang tambay doon sa paligid ng kumpanya. Retire niya. Kasi maganda yung
Usually.
di ba? Gusto kong kumita sila. Katulad ng sinabi mo, pinatira doon sa bahay, sa kumpanya, and everything. Lumaki. Pinoprofessionalize na ngayon. Di ba? So, nung pinoprofessionalize na, meron na ngayong resistance. Ang naging tanong ko kagad doon sa kliyente ko, doon sa kaibigan ko, may say pa ba yung father mo? Kasi kung tutulungan kita, i-correct yan and everything, tapos tatakbo doon sa tatay, di ba? Tapos yung tatay i-reverse yung gagawin mo. And we might not as well unscramble the scrambled egg. Kasi ikaw lang ang mapapangya. Di ba? But we will have to document and educate everything. Like halimbawa, pinatitira. Sabi ko, magkakaroon tayo ng transition dyan na ganito. Kung walang documentation, i-document natin yun in Tagalog. Di ba na ito yung, ang ginagawa kasi namin, ini-introduce namin every year sa mga clients ko. Laging may summary of the benefits that they are receiving. At ano doon, ano yung peso value sa ilalim. Okay? Kasi di ba kadalasan ang issue nila, baba sweldo ko eh. Pero pag sinumatotal mo, kasi di ba total rewards ang labanan dyan. So, ilan yung leaves, ilan yung HMO, etc. So, ano yung total rewards mo? So, every year we are giving this summary of total rewards and they will have to acknowledge it. Tapos naka-specify doon ano ang permanent, di ba? Ito yung talagang sa kanila, ito yung prerogative that they are just extending this as parang gratis. Hindi siya yung tipong that's part of your job and you are entitled to it. Okay. So once na ginagawa namin yan, so nagiging open yung idea nila na eventually mawawala sa amin ito. Hindi namin tinatanggal eventually agad-agad kasi away ang hanap mo pagka ganun eh. Diba? Pero we are planting seeds that we will be implementing this probably next year, probably 2 years from now. And during our huddles, lagi naming pinofloat yung idea na you should be preparing for the worst if in case this will happen. And it worked. It took us 3 years bago makorek yung isang situation na ganyan doon sa isang medium-sized organization. Nakita naman nila yung entitled sila na wala. Binigay namin kasi yung isa, yung SSS contribution, yung lahat ng mandatory contribution, imbis na binibigay doon sa mandatory, binibigay doon sa empleyado. O bahala ka lang ano niya, kung gusto mong gamitin o hindi. Okay? Pero sabi ko, delikado yan kasi kung tumambling yan sila at sabihin hindi, yari ka. So, tinransition namin kung ano yung wala, dinagdag namin. Inuna namin kung ano yung kulang, ano yung compliance. Nakita nila na the company, the management is fair. So nakikita nila ano yung obligasyon at ano yung gratis. So it took us 3 years, pero we are able to smoothly transition the organization from a backyard operation into something that is professional. And as much as possible, lalo na pagka-Asian, yung mga kliyente ko kasi Asian, yung mga Chinese, mga Indian, mga Filipino, ayan yung nag-uumpisa na gusto makatulong, o sige, tulungan niyo ako dito, blah, blah, blah. Tapos, we're extending beyond what is expected. Tapos, naging entitled na sila. So, pagka gusto na nilang i-correct, sabi ko, it will not happen overnight. Minimum of 2 years. Pero mas maganda kung 3 years. Shifting the framework from being entitled to something na this is something na extended, gratis. Diba? It would take some time. It would take a lot of engagement. You need to build the trust. And you need to tell them this is the real picture right now. Like, we're only renting these facilities. Now we are moving to the other facilities and we can no longer extend the same privilege with you. Nahanapan ka namin ng isang kubo doon sa loob. But then you have to do it now. You have to figure it now in your own. So yung mga ganon. Diba? Ang iba pang style dyan, yung mga kasambahay nandoon sa payroll. Tapos
Mm.
yung HR, hinire nang hindi pinaliwanag sa kanya na yung personal driver, yung kasambahay, yung mga hardinero, lahat yun nandoon sa payroll. Diba? So, yun yung hindi
Problema
na-clear. Kaya
yan.
nasabi ko, yes, exactly. Diba? So, HR should have to, if HR is part of that organization, ito nga ikaw ba yung mag-a-adapt doon sa set-up sa
Mm.
kultura na pinasukan mo? O you will educate, diba? Kasi partner ka diba? You will educate yung employer mo pagdating dyan para ma-correct at may tama yung practices, yung kultura at yung setup ng organization.
Tama din po yung sinabi nyo kanina, 'di ba? Minsan, when we come on very strong and we look too biased in favor of the employees, it makes our jobs harder to convince management what the right thing is to do. Kasi they will think na yung colored na yung opinion mo.
Mm.
Hindi na siya based on
Yes.
batas. And it's just you being kind to somebody else. Pero against management naman. So, it's also what Jenny Jota is saying. Sabi nga niya, for me, HR carries out the management order, making sure it happens. But they should also consider the welfare of the people down to those below the org. So, it's a matter of staying in between. How we manage to stay on the right track depends on our values as a person. So, our efficiency as an HR really depends on how strong we can uphold ourselves in between management and those people. With that, could you repeat your advice to everyone who is listening? Paano pumapel na mapalambot din yung management? 'Di ba? Kasi minsan pag humihingi ka, totoo 'yan, lalong kang humihingi, lalo ka nangungulit, lalo talagang titigas. That is
Correct.
true. So
Because
how
the thing
would you
you're trying to
soften?
pull my leg. Diba? You're trying to pull my
Hmm.
leg.
Alam ko meron kang gusto, hindi mo pa didiretso, lolokohin mo pa ako. Pero pag pumayag ako, maiipit yung management, magbigay ng isang benepisyo na baka hindi naman
Mm.
kailangan sa batas. Hmm. Sir Sonny, your advice.
Okay. Before I answer that, magkokomentaryo lang ako kung bakit inis na inis ako sa LinkedIn. And I'm planning to create some reels out of this. Ito yung mga employee do not need 10 years of experience. Applicant do not need 10 years of experience to be hired. Diba? So, give them the experience. Be kind, blah, blah, blah. Yung mga yung mga tono na gano'n.
Sa
Okay, o
LinkedIn niya.
kaya, yeah, maraming mga toxic positive posts sa LinkedIn na hindi mo katotohanan.
Agree.
Hmm.
Okay? And minsan nakakapantig ng kaya sa akin nagiging cause ng unnecessary expression because this is one of the major drivers kung bakit ang framework ng mga younger generation is different from reality.
True.
Of course, the older generation would rather keep quiet because they hold the resources. Diba? Bakit sila mag-stoop down para patulan yun? And they are the decision makers. Diba? Pero the more na umiikot yung ganitong framework, tapos paikot-ikot lang sa kanila, hindi naman align doon sa totoong nangyayari sa taas, the more na nagiging detrimental ito sa kanila. Now, habang yan yung framework, kasi ang ginagawa, ang nangyayari sa HR, nakikreate ng echo chamber. Kung ano yung gusto kong marinig, doon ako sumasali. Yun yung pinapalo ko. Right? So kaya yung snowball effect nitong digital marketing ng influencership, it confines us in a box. Dahil kung ano lang yung gusto nating marinig, kung ano lang yung nag-agree tayo, yun lang yung pinifeed sa atin. And we create our support group and support system doon sa similar beliefs. Now, okay lang yan kung yung boss mo thinks the same way as you. Okay? Diyan papasok ngayon, if your boss, if management thinks differently from what you think, tapos isusubo mo yung mga ifinid sa'yo na hindi grounded sa katotohanan. Alright? So, diyan papasok ngayon yung sinasabi ko, you switch your mindset to that of the owner, of the employer, of the investor. Diba? Because when you think like them, sila ngayon ang mag-shift ng mindset at mag-HR mindset. 99% of my friends and my clients, once na ako ang nag-push ng ganito, hindi, ibigay natin to sa kanila. So if I wanted something, I present to them, ito yung responsibility mo. Okay? Objectively, kung ito yung responsibility mo, ito lang yung dapat mong ibigay. Ngayon, kung meron ka pang ibibigay na iba, thank you. Kung sa tingin mo, ayaw mong ibigay, no obligation. Okay? Then, gagawin na ng HR yung role nila to make sure na they would understand bakit ito lang yung kayang ibigay ng management. And kadalasan, ibabalik yung tanong sa iyo eh. Binabalik yung sa akin, tanong sa akin eh. Ano ba sa tingin mo yung dapat? Okay. Kung kukunin mo yung opinion ko because medyo alam ko kung ano nangyayari sa lupa, they would appreciate kung idadagdag natin to. Ngayon, ang problema lang naman natin sa labor law natin is once na binigay mo, touch move. Diba? Hindi mo na pwedeng bawiin. So, ito yung naging workaround ko sa kanila. Ito yung binanggit ko doon sa Congress. Diba? Any rewards that is based on performance, that is grounded on the bottom line, may pagkukuhaan ka ng resources. Okay? Bigay mo sa kanila. Lump sum. Huwag mong pitse-pitse. Yung mararamdaman nila. Pero huwag mong ilalagay yan sa basic salary. Pero, kung halimbawang i-align mo, i-upgrade mo yung salary, ipopromote mo, papasok mo yan sa salary. But you are committing something, an expense, na hindi mo pa hawak yung pera. Diba? Kasi ang parameters mo, ito yung tinatawag nating critical numbers. Eh. In other words, yung sa ibang term tawag doon is break-even point. So, ito yung critical numbers mo. Eh. Diba? So, by committing additional salary to them, you are increasing your OPEX. Eh. So, wala pa yung pumapasok na sales. Diba? Wala pa lahat, kinukomit mo na. So, kunin mo siya doon sa research mo. And all the rest, ibigay mo in a form of reward. So, that's what we did. Okay, kung hindi kaya magbigay ng cash o bibigyan ka namin ng additional 10 leaves for the year, convertible to cash pag hindi mo nagamit. Masaya yung tao doon, ha? They are happy. Pero hindi ibig sabihin, permanente na yung additional 10 leaves na yun. Sample lang yun. Marami pa kaming pwedeng na-introduce na ginawa that makes the employees happy, specifically para doon sa mga small and medium enterprises. Diba na hindi natatali yung future nila because as the revenues come in, ano yung kayang i-absorb, sinishare din doon sa empleyado. And the employee understood it and they knew ano yung tinatawag na COGS. Hindi ko alam kung ang HR na nakikinig sa atin, alam ba yung COGS. Diba? So, pag pinag-usapan yung ito lang ibibigay, kasi ito yung pumasok na revenue, pag pinag-usapan yung COGS, alam nila na, hindi naman napunta lahat sa kumpanya yan kasi may iba pang napuntahan. So, they are happy. Okay? So, yun yung mga pwede natin gawin na if HR will be understanding where the entrepreneur is coming from na nakukuha ng pambayad dito sa facilities ko, sa utilities ko. Yung cash advances na binigay ko bilang isang entrepreneur. O kaya yung mga withdrawals ko doon sa credit line ko sa bangko. Diba? So, yung mga ganun eh. So, kung maiisip ng HR yan, tapos pag pinresent niya yung mga employee programs niya, and sasabihin niya, ito lang yung requirement mo. Whether you want to do it or not, nasa sa'yo yan. And 99% of my experience, magtatanong yan pabalik. Ano ba sa tingin mo yung dapat natin gawin? Then I will present an alternative. This is how much it would cost you. And this is where you will get the expenses for this. Kayang i-absorb yan, yung bottom line mo. And the employee will be happy if you will be extending it to them. Gawa tayo ng malaking activity to present it to them, parang launching or parang rally or something. And then we will present it to them na ganito yung nangyayari. Aside from this, these are the other benefits na pwede ninyong ma-avail. Bibigay kami ng mga cinema passes, uh, yung gym passes, etc. Things like that. Okay. And yung isang ang HR na minimentor ko, sabi ko gano'n, bakit naman ang ibibigay mo is yung for family of four? Ano yung sa Santa Rosa? Yung
Mm.
mga rides.
Enchanted Kingdom.
Yes. Sabi ko, hindi ba na-insulto yung employee dyan? Sabi ko, bakit nagagyan mo lang gano'n? Para ng mga dating hindi nila kaya. Tapos sabi niya, sir, huwag kang ganyan. Sabi ko, bakit? Educating. Sabi ko, I'm just thinking out loud. Kasi bakit naman mamaya, nakaka-insulto. Tapos sabi, hindi sir, tuntunga sila pagdating dyan. Tapos tinignan ko yung isa sa mga rewards nila for tenured employees. So, yung may isa doon, 500 pesos for 5 years of employment. Tinanong ako nung minimentor ko, sir, ano ba dapat natin? So, hindi ko sa kanya pinatulan. Pero dumiretso ako doon sa may-ari. Dumiretso ako doon sa kaibigan ko may-ari. Sabi ko, pare, isang empleyado per year. Bakit ba naman natanong yan? Bakit yan? Tapos, nilabas ko yung existing policy. Sabi ko, magre-reward tayo ng mga 5 years. Tapos, ang ibibigay mo lang, Enchanted Kingdom for family of four. Tapos, 500 as token. Plus yung certificate na pinrint sa printer na bumili tayo ng frame at sinalpak ko. Sabi ko, I'm not pressuring you to change. I'm just asking you to reflect and think. Kasi makatao yung kliyente ko ngayon. Mahal niya yung empleyado niya. Diba? So, hindi. Taasan natin yan. Ano ba sa tingin mo? 1,000 for every year of service. Not bad mo yan. Commensurate mo yan. So, total, divisible tayo ng 5. So, 5, 10, 15, 20. Sabi ko, saka na natin i-review. But 1,000 will do it. Nagulat ang lahat because, nagkaroon ng pagbabago. Meron ng 5,000. Plus, meron pa silang ticket doon sa chat. Employees are happy. It's a matter of the HR understanding. Ano ba yung kinalalagyan ng may-ari, ng boss? Ano ba yung struggle niya kagabi? Pagagawa siya ng desisyon. Diba? Paano niya palalakihin ang negosyo? Paano niya isasama yung mga tao sa paglago ng negosyo? Okay. And ito yung lagi kong for lack of better term, pinamumukha sa mga employee pagka nagkakaroon kami ng town hall. Sabi ko, alam niyo ba, na ang struggle, yung isang kaibigan ko, alam niyo ba, na for the last 2 years, this company is operating on the red. Ako na ang nag-recommend na mag-downsize. Kasi 2 years nang on the red. Pero siya yung nagsasabi, wag. Kasi mawawala ng trabaho siya. Marami siyang mga investments, marami siyang mga serial entrepreneurs. And itong isang specific company na ito, nawala na yung puso niya. Dahil iba na yung interest niya. Pero the only reason why maintain niya yun kahit na bleeding is because ayaw niyang mawala ng trabaho. Sabi ko, your bosses, at least 80% of them, is concerned about you. They may not love you with the sense that they love you, but they are concerned for you and your future and the family. Alam niyo ba na nasasaktan din ang kanila? Sabi nila, sir, bakit? Then I cite a specific example. Another client invested on one manager, grew from the ranks. Lahat ng plano sinare sa kanya for the next 20 years. Tapos all of the sudden, resign. Nasa middle ng transition yung organization. Tapos, pinakiusapan yung baka pwede ka mag-extend ng 60 days, 90 days. As a month employee, hindi. Nasa middle ng transition ng automation. In short, sumabog yung kumpanya. Now, every time that I will have this one-on-one talk with this friend of mine. Lumalabas yung hurt. Sabi niya, di ko maintindihan parang I gave them the opportunity, trained them, and I included them in my long-term plan, yung packaging plan. Tapos in the middle
Mm.
of the implementation, they left. Now, hindi ako nasaktan when they left. Pero ang masakit, how they left the organization. They are so transactional. They complied with the 30-day notice. They are so transactional. Yung dapat i-turn over sa akin. Pero after the 30 days, nung dumating na yung issues and everything, we are seeking for some assistance, some help and everything. Not because they're obliged to, not because we are obliging them, but because, hey, we are friends. Okay? And yet, masyadong malamig yung response.
Mm.
And if HR would understand the hurts, struggles, the aspirations of management, and they can position their program, and they can position their mindset doon sa pag-ikot ng framework nila, then HR will not just be an employee services department. Magiging strategic business partner yan ng organization. So the key is unlearn what we have learned in LinkedIn.
Mm.
Expound our sources of information. Hindi lang yung mga gusto natin pakinggan ang pakinggan natin. And try to understand and empathize doon sa mga small and medium bosses. Kasi doon sa malalaking kumpanya, yung mga presidente doon, empleyado din. Di ba? I met a lot of presidents who are also employees. And they do not think like the same way as the entrepreneur thinks.
Mm.
Okay. Malaki ang kaibahan. A president employee versus an entrepreneur ng small and medium enterprise. Malaki ang kaibahan. Wala pa rin doon yung framework ng nagbuhos ng kanilang, hindi lang ng pera, kundi ng kanilang kaluluwa doon sa baby nila, doon sa investment. So if HR will be able to figure that out and connect with their bosses, with the management, I tell you, you will be a valued possession.
Thank you for that, Sir Sonnie. Mentor Rona, questions for Sir Sonnie?
Okay, actually wala tayong masyadong question. Marami tayong mga feedback. Tulad ng sabi ni Ms. Tessa Amor Cruz, truest, ayaw mag-train ng mga bagong HR daw. Sabi naman ni Jenny, follow-up ito, equity, equality, etc. Actually, ang daming nalilito doon no? Sa difference ng equitable at ng equal. Ayan. Pero agree ako sa sinabi ni Sir Sonnie ha. Marami talaga na, alam mo yun sa LinkedIn, yung toxic positivity. Yung madalas sinasabi na, wala ka pang experience, sige. I-hire ka namin, we will give you the experience. It may work for some positions, but it will not work for all positions. Ayan. Ako, Sir Sonnie, may sagot ako. Kasi, may tanong ako. Asumera, may sagot kagad. May tanong po ako. Kasi listening to what you have mentioned earlier, I think one of the things na yung mga bagong HR has to develop is the ability to think critically and to really analyze things. Kasi I feel that if ma-develop yung competency na yun, they would be able to better understand where management is coming from and how they can translate that to the employees. Ano po ang tips nyo do sa mga bagong HR na dahil bago pa lang sila at medyo idealistic pa and given nga yung nakikita nila sa LinkedIn, masyadong panay puso pa at wala pa talaga yung analysis part. Nandun lang sila sa kung ano yung nakikita nila sa LinkedIn, kung ano yung nag-a-appeal sa emotions nila. What are the things that they can do to change yung ganong way of thinking?
Yeah.
Yung, again, yung openness of mind to listen to other opinions. Okay. And medyo hindi siya ganun kadali kasi may ano yan merong human nature. Like, di ba parang tayo may question palagi pagka, parang ako nung bata-bata ako, I would rather listen to my contemporaries than those older than me. Okay? Again, echo chamber mindset din yun before.
Mm.
Tapos, kanina, when I was reading my Bible, nandun ako sa Book of Proverbs. Nandun lang yung, uh, one of the purposes of the Proverbs, sabi doon, is listen to the correction of your father and follow the instruction of your mother. So I was contemplating with that. And then sabi ko, I was kinda rebellious doon sa mga framework ng parents ko back then. But the more I get
Mm.
older, I agree with them, and unfortunately, I cannot thank them right now dahil
Mm.
naglipat bahay na sila. Diba?
Mm.
And we can apply the same principle ngayon pagdating sa work. A lot of younger HR, they would only listen those are the same more or less age group nila.
Mm.
And they tend to close doon sa mga tawag nilang thunders o doon sa tawag nilang mga boomers. Okay? And ang pinakamasaklap dito sa sitwasyon ito is they're missing a lot because
Mm.
nothing would replace actual experience. Kahit na
Mm.
certified ka ng kung ano-ano academic training ka,
Mm.
and yet you did not go through the battle, diba? Pointless yun eh. Wala kang say-say. Diba? You can only learn the gems of the rigorous HR thing if you are already on the battlefield. So
Mm.
if we will attempt to listen to those who are in the battlefield, then we will learn a thing or two. In
Mm.
the same way, yung mga boomers, mga thunders, if they would also listen to the younger peeps, kasi marami ding mga binobrought up yan interesting thoughts. Oo, hindi ko naisip yun. Diba? So tatanggalin lang yung biases na wala pang alam yan kasi mga bata yan. Tatanggalin lang yung biases na hindi na sila connected sa reality kasi matatanda na yan. Diba? Lalo na pagpapasok na, uy, ganito na yung age niya pero ganito pa lang yung position niya. Di ba meron na kagad discrimination doon? Meron na kagad bias doon. Bakit nalagpasan pa siya ni ganito? So mas makikinig ako doon sa mas bata-bata tapos mas malaki yung pera kesa dito sa mas matanda tapos ito lang yung pera. Nakuha niyo kung ano yung gusto kong i-point out.
Mm.
Ito yung mga barriers kung bakit ayaw natin matuto. Ito yung lagi kong sinishare, even to my own kids. Lagi kong sinasabi, mas mataas ang respeto ko sa nagtitinda sa palengke.
Mm.
Tapos nakapagpatapos ng mga anak. Tapos pag umuwi ka sa bahay, nakikita mo, uy, sa inyo pala itong bahay na to. Tapos maganda yung paligid. Mas may respeto ako lang. Kahit di nagtapos yun ng college. O kahit nagtapos ang college, tapos mas pinili nila yung trabaho na yun. Mas may respeto ako doon. Kasi hindi nangangamuhan. At saka walang hangin sa ere. Pag sinabi mo kain tayo ng squid ball, kakain ng squid ball yan. Diba? Pag hinaya mo, kain tayo ng bagong palabokan doon sa Quiapo, walang problema yan, pupunta yan doon. Diba? Hindi sila yung BGC mindset, okay, Starbucks mindset na pag yung level lang ngayon ang pakikita. So, I guess ito yung ability to, it's not necessarily critical thinking. It's more on, tanggalin mo yung prejudices mo. I'm talking to everyone, regardless of generation. Kasi yung mas matanda, prejudice sa mas bata. Bata, prejudice sa mas matanda. Yung mas maraming pera, prejudice sa mas konti ang pera. Yung mas konti ang pera, prejudice sa mas marami. Doon sa mas posisyon, mas mababang posisyon, prejudice sila. Tanggalin muna natin yun. And let's have an open discussion about ano yung mga, ako ang umpisa ko palagi dyan pag may town hall, ano yung pain points niya? And let's try to listen to those pain points. Diba? Kasi pag pinag-usapan yung pain points, makaka-relate ka. Ano? Marirealize mo, ay, contributor pala ako sa pain points niya without you knowing it. So, nagkakaroon ng understanding. I hope I was able to answer that.
I think you gave a very good point on what makes an HR really good. Kasi everyone look, 'di ba? Ang daming nagagraduate ng human resources eh, 'di ba? And take certifications. And yet what you're trying to say is all these knowledge and certifications are just book knowledge. You really have to immerse yourself to the battlefield and deal with Filipino workers and management themselves in order to understand the different nuances on how it is to become a very good HR. Kasi if you just copy and paste and repeat yung mga nakikita mo nga sa LinkedIn, eh, hindi naman siya related eh, lalong-lalo na when it comes to a worker who is asking for a favor from management. I mean, many decisions are cannot be studied, are not really, it's really difficult, and you need to use your critical thinking to decide what is the right way. At the same
Actually, the
time,
society,
keeping your
yes,
sanity.
yes,
'Di ba?
yes.
Kasi parang ikaw na lang ang lagi nag-iisip para sa lahat. Napaka-unfair naman kasi hindi naman yung part of your job description eh. Sa totoo lang you're acting like your mindset is like management, business owner. Pero empleyado ka. So it's really very taxing for you to think about everybody else in the organization. Magkakaproblema ka talaga sa mental health mong yan. Don't you think so,
Agree.
Sonny?
Agree. And
Coach Darm?
uh, Sir Sunny, I know that you mentioned earlier that you have meetings post 5 p.m. So it's already almost 5 p.m. now, and
Mm.
we would like to give you the floor, sir. Being our special guest and very first speaker right now in 2024. Please give your last few words with regards to your topic, and also please invite our audience if there are any workshops, training programs, or any activities you would like to share. At papaano po nila kayo makokontak?
Okay, yung contact, nandiyan naman sa screen, sa social media. Tapos, invitation siguro we will just make sure muna yung cooperative because the cooperative is for everyone. Okay? Ayoko lang maglabas ng hilaw na mapupulaan hindi sa makatulong. So we wanted to make sure na it is well oiled and functioning as it is. And then we will bring in anybody who is interested because the goal for that is basically as young as they are right now, they should grow their side income para sabay nalalago yung other sources of income at saka yung salary. Kung sila ay financially secure, then they will not be afraid to make the right choices, the right decision as an HR professional. And sa akin, it's always look at your personal core values, your personal integrity. Yun ang first and foremost na dapat natin titignan bilang HR. And after that, ano ba yung long-term plan mo? Ano ba yung long-term professional goal mo? Um, Walang masama na maging service provider ng employee. If you're good at it, at talagang yun yung gusto mo, nobody should blame you and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. Katulad yung in-interview namin before na sales associate. Inoferan siya ng mag-aral, inoferan siya for professional uh, uh, growth. Pero sabi niya, I'm happy where I am. I'm thankful for the job security that you have given. So we respect that kind of person. So if that is your cup of tea, do not be condemned. However, if you're the type of person who wants to grow, who wants to be effective, and who wants to make a significant impact on the organization, then do the necessary paradigm shift. If you are servicing the employee, that's good. And if you think HR is the heart, that is also good. Pero, i-lift natin yan the same framework na yan. Pupunta sa management system. Let's also look at them with the heart. Because kung meron struggle sa employee, meron din struggle sa management. Kung may utang ang employee, it's only in the hundreds to the thousand. Pero yung utang ng management that could also affect the lives of the employees, it can goes to the millions. Okay? So, pare-parehong may mga pinpoints sa mga yan. If we will be able to transition that mindset and look at HR as the division that will hold the organization together, that will provide the North Star, that would guide, that would make sure that employees are taken care of, then let's look at the framework differently. Okay? Hindi lang tayong puso na tinitake advantage ng ibang tao. Tayo yung may puso na merong isip At hindi lang tayo taga-salo ng problema, taga-linis ng kalat, kundi tayo yung nag-make sure na walang kakalat, walang magkakalat. But everybody is happy where they are and what they are doing. So HR is, you are in the right job because it is a very rewarding thing, both emotionally, okay, and financially. All right. So kailangan lang we play our cards very well. So make the necessary. Thank you very much again for this opportunity.
Thank you, Sir Sunny. Maraming salamat po. And of course, Mentor Tina, last words coming from you about the topic or anything that you would like to promote or share. Kasi alam ko meron kang upcoming talks.
Yes. Whenever Sir Sunny talks, I always feel pressured. Kasi feeling ko, ang dami kong ginawa. Pero pag nandyan si Sir Sunny, kulang pa. And I think it's a very good lesson that the people who are truly wise acknowledge that they are not wise at all. And that they have a chance pa rin to grow and to
Agree.
learn. Like for example, if you think you're a very good HR from alam mo na yung trabaho mo, maybe you'd like to immerse yourself operationally or in other aspects so that you can have a better understanding on what is going on in the company itself. I also want to challenge everyone that when we talk about benefits, like for example, yung Enchanted Kingdom na kinausap ni Sir Sunny, when you approach management, look wise by citing the actual cost of all the benefits that you are proposing. Kasi one of the pet peeves of business owners is ang HR lalapit sa management magpropose ng benefit pero walang presyo. And may presyo pero hindi nakatotal kung magkano yung cost ng benefit na yon sa management on an annual basis. And whether sensitive enough na related siya sa actual performance ng organization. Kasi every year, we're always pressured to propose more benefits to employees kasi nga, we're people-centric. And syempre, pag nakakarinig ng hirit ng mga employees, we will want to communicate that to management. Eh, minsan naman, nakita naman natin na yung sales bumaba. Tapos lalapit ka with that benefit, propose mo. And then, i-build up mo na yan sa employees. Oh, sige, kakausapin ko na si boss. Obviously, pag hindi nabigay yung benefit na yon, magtatampo lahat. And you might be blamed for these things. As what Man Morona has said a while ago, think critically. Hindi lang yung anong mukhang what sounds good, yun agad yung ipropose mo without filtering whether or not it is the best thing for both side of the fence and the best thing for you. Kasi when you keep on proposing ideas that don't fly, you will be bound to disappoint one side and that side will lose respect for you. So I think what Sir Sonny is also saying is, as you can see how he presents, when he talks about an issue, he sees both sides of the story. And it is so important for us to always consider three sides. Side of employee, side of management, and our side. Kasi pag sablay yung sasabihin natin, tayo yung mapapahiya, hindi naman yung employee. Kasi later sabi, akala ko sabi mo na dapat ganito sa management. Sabi niya, "Oh, hindi ko naman alam, lalapitin mo si boss about that." You know? Bawi agad. So you really need to be smarter than everybody else. So tama talaga si Sir Sunny na an HR is the spine. But at the same time, so critical. Sayang talaga yung opportunity ng mga HR who are just servicing the employees, who are just doing task-based.
Transactional
Kasi,
work.
transactional. Kasi if you really analyze the role, you're actually the business owner na without the capital. Almost, 'di ba? You can effectively run the business kasi you know both sides and you are so integral in the success of any company to the point na you can actually say what your price is if you know how to read the nuances. It is not black and or white. It is not employee or management. Most of the time it's in between. We are the gray area that tries to make sense of both sides. So it's a sobrang thank you, Sir Sonny, for being our guest speaker, because it is a reminder for us not to be black or white, to always push ourselves harder, to be way more, and to push the company to the right direction, because we see both sides of the story. And as a result, sana wala namang masyadong pagka-martyr. In the end of the day, those who are very good in HR are highly in demand. That's why si Sir Sunny ayaw na magtrabaho sa company eh. Kasi lahat ng company gusto na siyang i-hire. 'Di ba? So, it works better for him to service more companies kasi technically he makes more than serving just one financially ha. And he does help more by serving more than just one. Yan. So, Ma'am Rona, how about you?
Ito ang rason kung bakit si Sir Sunny ang palagi nating opening salvo for the year. It's because
Mm.
whatever, 'di ba, whatever Sir Sunny discusses, it actually allows us to refocus and to really go
Mm.
back to the roots kung bakit nga ba tayo nasa HR. This was the
Mm.
same, alam mo yun, the same discussion that we had last year, and I think the year before that, na alam mo yun,
Mm.
nakakalimutan kasi natin 'to minsan, eh, na yung kung bakit tayo
Mm.
naging HR at ano ba yung
Mhm.
kailangan para maging effective na HR. And sometimes along the way, nagiging more of trabaho na lang siya talaga instead of a
Mm.
vocation. The problem
Mm.
with HR is you really, really need to have it within you na maging HR. Hindi po pwedeng trabaho lang. And I do agree na hindi lahat black and white eh. And I think that's
Mm.
one of the problems that we have with some employees right now, with some HR right now, that they see things na it's either this or that. But it's not always the
Mm.
case. Sometimes there's a gray area. Sometimes there are other factors involved. Hindi po pwede na hire lang tayo ng hire, bigay ng benefits para masaya yung mga employees. True, masaya yung mga employees, but what does it mean for the business? Masaya nga yung employees, pero sarado naman after 6 months. Anong mangyayari
Mm.
doon? Dinigyan mo sila ng sangkatutak na benefits, sarado naman after 6 months. So, 'di ba? Yung nabigay mo ngayon, wala din mangyayari sa kanya. So napakaganda ng topic natin for today actually. And etong mga ganitong discussion reminds me kung bakit nga ba ako nasa HR, reminds me as well ng kung ano nga ba yung ginagawa natin dito sa HR Cafe and even with Philippines HR Group, yung calling natin para mai-improve natin yung quality of HR in the Philippines. At bago po ako magtapos sa aking hirit, para po dyan sa may mga anak na nasa college level na po, baka gusto nyo pong itry AB Psychology sa Asia Pacific College. Doon po ako nagtuturo at marami po tayong mga kilalang pangalan na nagtuturo po doon. Nandiyan si Miss
Ang
Lisa
daming time ni
Arcaiza.
Rona. Nakakainggit. Ang
Mm.
dami niyang time.
Ito rin ang dahilan kung bakit kami nag-business na lang ni Sir Sunny. Mas hawak po namin ang oras namin. Ando din po si Miss Lisa Mapago. So kung may mga anak po kayo kakilala na gustong mag-AB Psychology, Asia Pacific College has a program for AB Psychology. Coach Dar?
Okay, I'll just highlight something that one of our audience has chatted about. According to Dani Rose Marciano, her take on the this episode one or of 2024 is HR is the heart as servicing as an employee service provider. Number two, HR as the spinal cord serves as connection to all departments, and HR as the hands of management to implement organizational goals. We definitely agree on it. And just a few reminders before we end the program. We next week we'll be meeting another set of people who would be part of our mentors pool of the HR Cafe. We will have Bonnie Factor, Jamie Iris, Oliver de Kilman, Ray Fremista, and Jackson Quachon. They will bring their own brand of kumbaga, learning and experience here in the HR Cafe. So magkakaroon po ng schedule para po magawa din po namin mga mentors sa mga dapat din namin gawin outside HR Cafe, outside the Philippines HR Group. But we are looking forward to this new group. Pero of course, dito pa rin po kami. Magkakaroon po kami ng schedule kung kailan po yung batch nila Oliver sa kayong batch po namin. And then also, if you have any questions, please post it at the main page of the Philippines HR Group. There's a lot of mentors and senior mentors like Sir Sonnie who would always provide their knowledge and experience there. And if you would like to reach out to us for any sponsorship, please email us at philippineshrgroup@gmail.com. Maraming salamat po. At magkita-kita po tayo uli next week, same time, Sunday, 3 p.m. for another episode of your weekly learning habit here at the HR Cafe. Usapang trabaho, buhay iba pa. Maraming salamat po. Thanks everyone. God bless.